I'll give you guys Mitch.
That should be Bob's line, right? Or Kelly's?
He's on the hill.
Sure.
Oh, that was all, yeah.
So you can stand.
No problem.
Sure. As far as I'm concerned, you may want to move it. Camera O.
You think?
Dylan?
Good, how are you? Yeah. How are you?
All right.
No, you're fine. Don't worry.
All right. Good? Yeah? Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't know if you wanted me to hold it.
Oh, no, I appreciate it.
So we just wrapped up our red zone day today, got outside here, and for the most part here, guys are gearing up for this the Colts game, and again, just getting the depth in and guys getting some plays, so it's pretty good, and we had good weather today.
What have you seen from Riley Ridley since he's coming back, and what are you eager to see on the field Saturday night?
Well, with Riley, he's done a really good job of digesting everything. He knows what he's doing. He has a great feel. When teams play zone coverage, he has a good feel of that. He has excellent ball skills, so that's just showing up. It was a bummer him getting banged up a little bit there, but I think he's back on track. I'm excited to see what he can do.
What have you seen from the connection Mitch and Allen have in terms of the trust between those two guys and them seeing the field through the same eyes?
Yeah, it's certainly a lot higher than what it was last year. I think part of that is just with Allen's injury and then with Mitch trying to learn the offense. Right now it's at a really good spot. You see them in between periods. They're getting extra work between every period, and that's what true professionals do. Allen's been doing this for a little while, and it's very important to him as it is to Mitch. So the more we can get of that and other guys, I think the better.
What stands out about the way that, like the detail of Allen's routes, now he understands coverages?
Yeah, that part right there that a lot of other wide receivers don't get, he understands coverages. And I think that separates the good wide receivers from the ones that become great. He has that next level awareness. And so when you have that and then you put the want into how bad he wants it with his quarterback, that's where it's going to be fun to see what those guys, how they connect this year.
Does this?
Yeah, he had an oblique yesterday, just a minor oblique. You saw he was back out today, so we wanted to be precautionary with that.
He was full strength today.
Yeah.
Full force.
Yep.
With regard to Mitch and Allen Robinson, does this offense, the way you throw things around and diversify things, is it allow for like a Rodgers, Jordy Nelson type of connection where the guy just has a favorite receiver, that kind of?
I think it can, and that's where I think there's that idea of with it depends what teams are planning to do and how they see particular guys within our offense. So if it's something that they want to go ahead and try to take Allen away by double teams and someone else is open somewhere else, but if they decide they want to play one-on-one and do different things of that nature, then we got to decide if that's something we want to attack. But I like what he's doing right now.
It seems like they've developed, maybe just the way it looks, but just they developed that kind of intuition or just comfort that Mitch has when he needs someone to be open.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think that you're not, for us, seeing what you see in practice is that connection's building and it's getting stronger and stronger. I think it can go even higher, their trust and connection, but it's definitely arrow up.
Ian Bunting is a guy in the first preseason game, made some nice plays, also made some mistakes. Have you seen him avoid some of those mistakes? What have you seen from him recently?
Yeah, I haven't really seen anything, too high or too low on him. He's been pretty consistent, which is what you look for in these guys. He's going to have 2 more games here, 2 opportunities to show what he can do.
Hey, Matt, speaking of Rodgers, when you were out at Tahoe, what were the extent of your interaction with him?
There was one major one, and I think with that, so they were going ahead and they were introducing the celebrities at that golf tournament at the start. It was like a middle of the week type deal, Wednesday night. So we're all in there, and I'm scrambling in the back to get in the back and stand up, and there's about 100 guys sitting down in the back row. And as I'm walking, all of a sudden I trip, and I kind of catch my knee, and somebody's sitting down. I look back, someone stuck their knee out to trip me, and I look back, and he's just sitting there, and he's just staring at me, laughing, giving me this grin. And I just looked at him, and all I thought about was, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. But that was the interaction we had, and I think it was a mutual respect.
But you didn't talk to him or you didn't get to know him?
No, I mean, we're busy out there. We're trying to win that thing. We're competitors, and I got to do better, and I think he played pretty well. So, but that was the short interaction that we had, but it was fun.
Man, how much time are you able to spend studying players at individual position groups to try and make roster decisions as opposed to how much you invest in the position coaches?
Sure. There's a lot of investment in what the position coaches are saying then there's I think to me what it is, it's the outliers. It's the positions where I need to maximize my time and the value that I have at each waning moment. So when I get an opportunity at a particular position to really dive in and watch that player, within our Exo system, we have a deal where it's really easy to pull up all their reps and watch it. And so I do that. It's impossible to watch every single player for every rep, but you try to get a good feel. And then you also, what we talk about with that legacy book, you pass the ball and you give responsibilities to your coaches to help you out with that.
So as you get down to these last 8-9 days, are there a couple, I'm not asking
Sure.
which ones, but a couple positions
Yeah.
you'll have a hyper focus
Absolutely. And I think now is the time when you start driving in to, you really start focusing on those positions that you're talking about. And I didn't really know necessarily what they would be. They all kind of happen on their own. And so now Ryan and I will get together and we'll get with the position coaches. We'll collaborate and try to make the best decision.
Without names, can I ask which positions you might have a bigger focus on?
Well, it's I don't really want to get into that with the positions, but I think right now it goes back to some of the general questions in training camp of where we have some depth and where we want to see. So, I mean, when you look at, I'll give you an answer. So tight ends, middle linebackers, and at corner. I mean, those are just three. I could really say every position. I mean, there's no really position that we, if we're going to keep the best players, I think, and that's the best way to put it.
When you're evaluating which guys to keep, how do you balance kind of how much they've done before they got here and maybe what they've done just in this camp and just in these preseason games?
Sure, there's a balance. I think every player is a little bit different based off of who they are, what was their history. We feel like we want to give all these guys a fair opportunity of whatever their history was. Let's give them let's have a clean slate here, and what have they done for you now type thing. And then defensively, learning a new defense. Offensively, you might be new with us. So we balance that, but it usually all sorts itself out between these preseason games.
With Cohen, that's a guy that was already here,
Mhm.
but he seems like a guy that you would have picked because of his skill set. What was your first impression of him, and how has your thinking evolved over the year plus that you've had him?
Right. Well, I knew who he was last year when I got here. I knew how much of a weapon he was. And now you get to learn who the person is and the different things he can do. So for me, he makes me a better coach. And I think he's exciting with the things that he can do. He's shown that, and nothing's really changed. I mean, we like where he's at, and then you put all these other pieces around him. It only makes him better too.
What do you mean it makes you a better coach? Just gives you more options, or?
Well, what happens is he makes plays and score touchdowns, and then when he does that, I get the credit. So that's what I mean.
Is there any possibility of Miller returning to practice next week?
There's a possibility. I mean, we're not going to rush anything, but I think, I'm not concerned about him. The biggest thing with Anthony is going to be just making sure that we as coaches don't overload him with what he does. I mean, he's going to be ready to play, and it's just we'll focus in with Andre and the rest of our staff and kind of figure out when that is.
Mitch's ability to extend plays and be athletic, it's a big part of his skill set with tackling and not playing in the preseason. He can't necessarily practice that. So how do you see that as you prepare?
No, I see that as a huge weapon, and other teams do too. So there's some coverages that teams they can try to play, but if Mitch, I'll never take that away from him. We didn't do that. Coach Reed didn't do that with Alex Smith. He was sneaky athletic, and so that's a weapon for us. If we don't use that weapon, we're foolish as coaches. So I want him to be able to use his legs when he can, and that's somebody else that they need to quote unquote double. And now the next question is taking the extra hits. And I think that's where we got to make sure we explain to him certain scenarios, when to get down. He knows how to slide, so that's a positive. That's a start. But he has a good feel for that. So we want to use his legs.
So based on what you saw last year from Mitch with running and
Yeah.
did you want to do more, less, be smarter? I mean, what's the lesson based on what he did last year?
So I don't have an exact answer for you. If it is more, I don't care. If it is less, I don't care. But we're telling him to just play football. Don't try to run more, because now you don't become a great passer. Don't try to run less, because now you don't use your strength, right? So just play. Whatever happens, happens. But when you do run, get out of bounds, get down, don't take the extra hit.
But can he run less than he did last year and still have that threat of being a runner that keeps
Yes.
the defense on its toes?
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. All right. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
I'll take the first three. I could do some later.
Kevin, Jason,
Take the last.
and Hub. 3 minutes each.
Good. How you guys doing?
Mitch, Coach told us you got a little embarrassed when they tried to sing happy birthday to you the other day.
Yeah. You know they like to make fun of me, and they gotta give the quarterback a hard time a little bit. But yeah, I had my birthday a couple days ago, and just very flattering that they would take the time to acknowledge that and give me a hard time about it. So it's all fun and games, but to me sometimes it's just another day. But they made it more special for me.
Mitch, knowing how much you love the game, do you get frustrated or disappointed at all not being allowed to play in these exhibition games?
Yes, I think you have to keep perspective, and we continue to buy into the plan that Coach Nagy has for us, so that's number one, first and foremost. But as a player and competitor and someone who loves the game, you want to play every opportunity you get, and if you don't get in the preseason, then you come out here to practice and enjoy it as much as possible, put in the work, and realize that we're putting in the work for even bigger games, and that's the regular season.
For lack of a better word, does it ever get boring?
Huh?
Does it ever get boring?
Playing football?
Yeah, I mean,
Are you crazy?
Preseason.
It's not playing football.
No. Oh, not playing?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you want to play, but we get the opportunity in practice, and we know we only have to wait a couple more weeks, and it's going to fly by, and it'll be here before you know it. So for us, it's just doing what we got to do every day in practice, studying film, keeping an eye on Green Bay, and make sure we're developing and helping the younger guys. And Thursday night will come around soon enough. We're going to be ready for it, and until then, we're just putting in the work. But sometimes it is boring, but I mean, when you're at the game, you're watching it and you're supporting your brothers, and you want to be there for them. So it's not really boring in that aspect, watching that, and then you just kind of become a fan of the game. But you try to get the mental reps as well and stay locked in. But it'll be here before you know it. So I know you guys are just as anxious as we are.
Coach was talking about your ability to make plays with your legs, and that he considers that a weapon. How important of a part of that game do you feel that is, and how much pride do you take in your ability, not only just to extend plays, but to make plays with your legs?
Yeah, for sure. I think I just want to use it when it comes natural and play within the timing of this offense and get the ball to my playmakers. But when things break down, definitely use my natural ability to extend plays with my legs, pick up first downs, or just extend plays that allow the receivers more time to get open. And I think it's definitely helped this offense, especially last year. So I just got to continue to utilize that, make sure that the defense respects that, and hopefully it opens up a lot of other guys in the offense.
Mitch, what did you learn from last year based on that you can do it more at running, or you should do it less, or what was the lesson I guess you learned from last year?
Just trust myself. Continue to play within this offense and play within myself. Don't try to do too much at times. And sometimes last year I took off when I didn't